if you bet $1,000 on the LA Rams and they were playing the New York Giants and you lost your bet, let's say the Giants won, they didn't cover, right? So now what you did was you had to pay your illegal bookmaker 10%, right? So you pay in $1,100. That's how it works. Everyone that bets, it's sick how many people that bets. So I'm probably preaching to the choir. They probably know more than me in general. And it's so sad that they say 66% in 2020, there was a survey by the University of Maryland. They say 66% of Americans approve sports betting. It's a sin, really. Honestly, it needs to really be relooked at. And that's how gambling works in general. So that was how they opened up these casinos in Nevada. So the guys in Los Angeles would call, have a runner, hey, go down to XYZ Sportsbook, bet, bet our over. So let's say they have 100,000 in excess bet on the Rams. They don't want to, they're just small bookmakers. They don't want to get stuck if the Rams cover with $100,000 headache. You understand? Same thing in New York. So the New York guys have a runner. Hey, run down to XYZ casino and, we have $100,000 over in New York. We have 100,000 people betting on the New York Giants, and we have 100,000 people betting, or $100,000 worth of bets on the LA Rams. So, hey, let's go down, let's level it out so we don't take a big risk. And that's where the Nevada sports book started to boom. They were taking the action. Their casinos, they didn't mind that action. And from there, it just proliferated. Now, these little bets that you these parlays and this and that and what and when, they would hold that because they call them sucker bets. You got to be a dummy to bet on a parlay, they call them, or a teaser, or all these other various propositions that they have out right now. They call them sucker bets. They would hold all of them because they were suckers. Very few would win. Do you understand? So what's happened today? Well, that's why when you see these garbage commercials all over the professional sports and the NCAA games, they say, give us $5 and we're going to give you $250. Some kind of garbage like that. Well, they're trying to sucker all the kids and all the families going, just if I put up $5, I'm going to get $250. Well, listen, there's a big sucker on that. That's the devil. They want to suck that $5 and get you in for the first time and get you addicted to the garbage, because that's what it is. It's garbage, Andrew. And the problem that I have with gambling, look, the papacy said for legitimate purposes. Now the governments have jumped in. The old bookmakers too. They used to have they used to do the numbers, right? So you can go to them and you can bet the numbers with them. So here's what's happened. Now the government steps in and says, no, we want a piece of the action. So now they impose taxes on it. Now they got the lotteries that people are spending. I have a friend of mine from childhood, a childhood friend of mine. He was struggling, and I tried to help him every way I could. So finally, I got to the bottom of it. I'm like, Mark, what in God's name is going on? He says, every one of my paychecks goes to the lottery. The lottery, Andrew, the lottery. So the combination of the states and the government and the gangsters, right, have taken advantage of one of our great popes who sort of said, well, if for legitimate purposes, it's okay. Look, the root of all evil is the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil. That's a scripture, right? Gambling, these casinos love money. The government, they love money, right? These lotteries, yeah, that's great. They say, it's going towards senior, but how much really goes towards senior citizens? You know what I'm saying to you? That money gets diverted and gets funneled into all kinds of different spectrums. You understand? We have senior citizens that can't pay their taxes, right? They can't get their medicine. They can't. So what are they doing with their money? You know what I'm saying to you? So from
state-run senior citizen houses don't exactly look like Trump Tower.
Well, look, you're right on there. So it's a lie. Everything about gambling is a lie. And that's where I want to caution all of the men and women that are sitting there watching these NFL games and all of the pro games. And I don't watch them, but I just have been watching a little bit of them recently. And man, you just get bombarded. Gamble, gamble, gamble. Do you understand? Drug, drug, drug. You know what I'm saying?